Power. The power of the machine harnessed to serve mankind. Great power and great performance, symbolized in what we regard as the greatest boon to agriculture since the invention of the plough. The Nuffield 460 tractor. A power in the land.
Yes, this is me, Nuffield 460, just coming off the assembly line. A fine, strong, efficient...
460, please, your turn will come later.
Oh, sorry.
Let's start at the beginning, where the Nuffield 460 was conceived. On the drawing board, by highly skilled, forward-thinking designers who set a standard for detailed, meticulous accuracy which is insisted upon throughout, from drawing board to finished product. From the very start, no chances are taken with the material that goes to make up the 460. In its molten state, samples of the metal must be taken and carefully tested and analyzed. Meanwhile, molds are being prepared for the various parts of the tractor that have to be cast. In recent years, great strides forward have been taken in the mechanization of this operation. And approval having been given to the quality of the molten metal, it's poured into the molds and the Nuffield 460 begins to take shape, with every confidence that everything will be right through every process. Now the cast must be finely checked with the drawings to ensure precise accuracy. Then machined to the very finest limits to ensure perfect fit. And this is done with every casting until the various components begin their big build-up on the assembly line. Here the axle casing and gearbox assembly take recognizable form. But now let's show you some typical parts being made, tested and assembled before that gearbox is put together. The differential, for example, has to stand up to tremendous stress and strain. No chances are taken of these nuts ever coming loose. A massive assembly for a massive job. This man is setting up the exact amount of backlash, the correct play between crown, wheel and pinion to achieve the minimum of wear with the maximum of loads. Now a step further. The frame is mated to the axle and gearbox. This main frame is a unique feature of which we at Nuffield are justifiably proud. A massive main frame, precision drilled and made ready as the ideal platform on which the tractor and all its accessories can be quickly and solidly fixed. This frame guarantees mammoth strength in field performance. This is quite a moment. With the powerful frame all ready to cradle it, the mighty BMC diesel engine is lowered into place. The BMC diesel, the heart of the Nuffield 460. And these are some of the items that go to make up that great heart. Over 1,500 of them. We show them to you especially to remind you that if any of them should eventually wear out or get damaged in any way, then the wonderful BMC service system will supply replacements at once. Now for the way they're made. First, purification by fire once again. Camshafts are case hardened to give working surfaces a hard skin that will ensure long life and hard wear. More checking. The case hardening may cause slight distortion. This must be put right before the forged camshaft can be precision ground. And here you see the automatic precision grinding in action. Much time is spent and great pains taken to ensure complete accuracy, because while the engine is the heart of the tractor, the camshaft is the brain. For the engine to function perfectly, each individual cam must be checked with complete accuracy to make sure that the position of the cam on the camshaft, the angle of lift of the cam, and its height must be so perfectly exact that each will do its job at the precise fraction of a second as the engine drives them round. This is the massive conrod which converts power into mobility. And it must be checked for dead accurate alignment, like this. Then they must be weighed. In case you're wondering why, they're weighed so that each conrod that goes into the engine must be an exactly matching twin with each of its brother conrods. This gives the engine smoothness in operation instead of vibration. A beautiful piece of precision engineering, the piston. It has to be to make sure that it mates perfectly with a polished bore. This looks easy, doesn't it? Anybody who's ever tried to fit one themselves can soon put you right on that. The expert here just makes it look easy. Fitting the big end, the bearing that really carries the heavy load. Here the bolts are being tightened with a hand wrench, but that won't be enough. Afterwards they must be finished off with a torque wrench to a predetermined tension. Here you see the valves being ground in. A perfect fit must be achieved to ensure a perfect seal that will admit no waste of gas and consequent loss of pressure. And so it goes on, item by item. More than 1,500 of them to be made, checked and assembled. Nothing is overlooked, nothing left to chance. Tappets, oil filter, timing gear. Check, check and double check. Until at last the specimen of engineering perfection that is the engine of the Nuffield 460 is ready to go to work. But not immediately. First it must undergo an intensive test run under simulated working conditions so that any final adjustments can be made before fitting the engine to the chassis frame. All's well. The experts have given their blessing and the engine is married to the perfect frame. And a perfect marriage guaranteed every time, which is more than we humans can say about some of our marriages. You'll see the hydraulic assembly working in the field very shortly. It has to face up to terrific loads and handle them smoothly and efficiently. This means more detailed, remorseless testing and checking before passing out. The heart of the hydraulic assembly is the pump unit. Here, tolerances are checked to 1/10,000th of an inch. And accurate testing is followed by equally accurate assembly. This again looks simple, but it calls for a high degree of technical know-how and years of experience to recognize a perfect fit. The whole hydraulic unit is then tested under load to ensure it will cope with whatever demands are made on it in the field. And now the Nuffield 460 is being made to look smart and well turned out, with a handsome weatherproof overcoat of orange paint. A spot of light refreshment, so to speak.
Ah, yes, this is where I came in, isn't it? There I am in all my glory, A fine figure of a tractor. And what do they do to me? I'll tell you. They take me straight out of a warm, cozy factory and leave me for days in an open-sided barn like this in midwinter. Then, having got colder and colder, I'm expected to start at the touch of a button. And being a Nuffield 460, of course I do.
Thank you, 460, but if you don't mind, I'm doing the commentating. Your turn will come later.
Well, get on with it, man, and let them see what I can do.
Right. For example, what sort of a job is 460 expected to cope with on a cold and frosty morning in a foot of snow? A tree to be pulled down. And regardless of weather conditions, the 460 will be expected to get a firm grip on snow-covered ground and cope with a big winching job. And the driver is a wise man. As you see, he's taking care to get well away from the tree so that when it falls, the tractor is in no danger of being damaged. Now the winch takes up the slack hawser, and the tractor must begin to take the strain. It digs its heels in deep, and even deeper. Now. And what chance does a tree stand against the might of a Nuffield 460? No chance at all. In this sort of weather, fodder must be carted out to the stock. But when the roads are icy, this can present difficulties. Here's a genuine slippery slope and a genuine heavy load. But as you see, the 460 can cope with no trouble at all. Good road holding by any standards. But snow and ice don't last forever, thank goodness, and in this delightful spot the 460 is more in his element. Doing a spot of rotivating, as you can see, and doing it extremely well. The job that every tractor must face up to eventually, straightforward ploughing. And as you see, this is heavy soil. It calls for plenty of tractor power, and the 460 provides it. With a good depth of furrow too. We don't just scratch the soil, our plough bites deep. Now a bigger job, the 3-furrow reversible plough. And I want you to take special note of the way the driver steers the tractor when he turns round at the headland. See? One hand, just like steering a private car. See the depth of that furrow? That's what I call ploughing, don't you? Just the same with this 4-furrow digger plough. It takes a tractor with better than average strength to pull that. And you notice there's no depth wheel used here. It's all controlled automatically by the smooth working hydraulics. Drainage and irrigation. You can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. You can take a Nuffield 460 to some water, and it won't only drink it in, it'll pump it out somewhere else for irrigation purposes. All day long, without supervision at all, the Nuffield 460 will take water from somewhere it's not wanted and put it somewhere where it is. Efficient and very labour-saving. When you start sugar beet harvesting, the Nuffield 460 will give you a smooth, even, constant speed, thanks to the mechanical governor the designers have built in for this purpose. Harvesting, loading and cutting off the tops all in one operation. Makes sugar beet harvesting easy, doesn't it? The same with kale cutting. No trouble at all. There's all the power to deal with this task under any conditions in the shortest possible time. I'm glad you can see this. We were boasting about the trouble taken to make the hydraulic assembly work perfectly, remember? Well, this is the result. A powerful, smooth lift. Then over to the spreader. Touch of a lever, and there you are. You must admit it shows a vast improvement on a man with a shovel and an aching back. And having loaded the stuff, we now have the job of spreading it. Now I want you to watch this carefully as the driver turns. This is where the power-controlled takeoff comes into action. You'll see as he starts to turn, he cuts off the power takeoff to stop spreading whilst he turns. Now, a touch of a lever, and off we go again. The cultivator. We've saved this until last. It's a very heavy cultivator for breaking up a stubble.
If I might butt in here.
Later, 460.
But you must make it clear that there are 9 massive tines in that cultivator, and that they bury themselves deep into the earth. Then they have to be pulled through the earth at that depth. Watch. Why, it's a job for a giant, no less.
Well, that's all right. There you have a giant doing the job, and doing it effortlessly. The Nuffield 460, giant among tractors. A giant among men once said, "Give us the tools and we'll finish the job." Well, Nuffield has given the farmer the tool that can finish any job, the 460. Here we reach the traditional fade-out, a charming picture of the subjects of our film doing a job easily and well. On the flats, up the slopes, light land, heavy land. It all comes the same to the Nuffield 460. Watch them as they drive away from us into the future.
Do you mind? Are you trying to cut me out altogether?
No, 460, you can come in now.
But this is the end.
That's right.
Well, that's where you're wrong. Because I know what we see when we get to the top of the hill. There. See that? Bathgate in Scotland. Birthplace of more and yet more Nuffield 460s. This is the new Nuffield factory of today. Modern and up to date. in every detail, with more and more automation on the job, producing the new Nuffield tractor of tomorrow. See them? All my brother 460s coming off the assembly line in an unending stream to be parked awaiting delivery to impatient farmers. By road, rail and sea they go to farmers in Britain and all over the world who want an outstanding piece of equipment to do an outstanding job. My friends, on behalf of my brother 460s throughout the world, I thank you for your kind attention, and I hope we may meet again soon at work together.
Trust you to have the last word, 460.
The last word? But of course, after all, I am the last word in agricultural tractors. I'm the Nuffield 460.